Welcome to another edition of Now You Know Sports. I'm Joe Bronzo.
And I'm Laima.
And today we're talking about March Madness, the NFL Draft, and the coming of the 2010 baseball season.
Oh, yeah. So, you know what? We're going to start off with March Madness. Unfortunately, our BC Eagles will not be attending. It stinks, but hey, there's always next year. And actually, you know what? It's starting this Wednesday, the 16th. First games, you know. It's going to be really exciting. Sunday selection was awesome. You know, it was good stuff. How did your bracket look so far?
Well, I always kind of just go with putting BC as winning it since about 6th grade. So I don't know what I'm going to do this year, but I'll have to figure it out. Maybe I'll do it seriously.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of good teams. I mean, you know, there's Kansas, which is predicted to, you know, a lot of people predicted Kansas. Actually, Michigan State as well, too. You know, there's Syracuse, Duke, West Virginia, New Mexico. There's, you know, there's a lot of talent, a lot of teams, and there's also a lot of bubble teams. And, like, you know, just a lot of teams who can come out of nowhere, sleeper teams. It'll be interesting to see.
It will be fun to watch, especially without a biased view this year.
That is true.
But
Very
I will
true.
be rooting for the ACC because we got to keep it in conference,
Absolutely.
obviously.
So let's talk about some baseball. I know you got
All
some
right.
stuff.
Well, there's been some pretty big trades with some of the playoff teams last season. We have the Red Sox, who picked up John Lackey and Marco Scutaro, along with re-signing Tim Wakefield, who I think is going to get that 5th starting spot. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, could go any way.
The Yankees picked up Javier Vasquez, Curtis Granderson, and they brought back Nick Johnson. So that'll be interesting. He's got some power to his bat. Unfortunately, the Yankees got rid of Johnny Damon to the Tigers and Hideki Matsui to the Angels. So I'm a little disappointed about that. I used to love those guys. But
not a big fan.
the Phillies doing something out of left field, getting rid of Roy Halladay and getting rid of Cliff Lee, who I thought was amazing in the World
Yeah,
Series.
no, I definitely agree. It
I
was
don't
a little
understand
shocking,
that.
but I mean, Roy Halladay, he's pretty solid.
He is pretty good. The Rockies pick up Giambi, and of course, big news ever since it's been mentioned is Mark McGwire becoming the hitting coach of the Cardinals. But you know, I think he's the right man for the job.
I definitely agree. I mean, you know, some people can question him, but I definitely, you know, he's got a good record, good stats. I think it's a good choice.
Now, I know that any baseball fan already knows this, but I've been following almost all the spring games on ESPN, and just letting everyone else out there know that they are broadcasting the spring games in case you if you can't wait for baseball. And speaking of which, opening day, April 4th, New York Yankees at Fenway, facing the Red Sox.
How could you get any better?
I mean, I tried to get tickets, but already sold out. Sold out probably before last season even started. So, but other big games are the Phillies playing the Washington Nationals on the 5th, the Dodgers playing the Pirates, and the Twins playing against the Angels. So
don't forget the Rays. They're playing the Mariners.
That's true.
On the 8th. So
it'll be interesting to watch, and I can't wait for baseball season.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's going to be fun.
Cannot wait. So you know what? Let's do
Time to
some
move on
draft.
to the draft?
Yes.
Let's do it.
You know, for the first time, the draft is going to be prime time, but it's moved to a Thursday. So it's going to be 7:30 on April 22nd on a Thursday. So, you know, it's going to be pretty interesting because they want more fans to get involved, to see the show. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. And right now, it could go either way. I mean, you know, April 22nd's a long ways away. But, like, there's so many people, you know, it all depends. Anyone could pretty much go. I mean, Rams have top pick. You know, quarterback is not really projected to go, but, like, you know, Rams need a quarterback. So Sam Bradford, I feel like, could go first round.
And depending on what happens in Pittsburgh with Roethlisberger.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? I mean, this could just take a huge turn. And while we're on the topic of it, I just can't believe how the NFL draft has changed so much. I mean, before I was born, but also when I was younger, no one was interested in the NFL draft. And now it's airing on prime time.
It's like crazy.
So.
Yeah, everyone's like all into it. I don't know. I mean,
so what are some of the top picks you have?
The top picks I have are, you know, obviously Sam Bradford. You know, with now that everyone's talking about how big his size is, he went up, I think, what, 20 pounds or 10, 15 pounds. You know, that's a big number. And people were thinking, like, you know, his body's kind of small right now, but now that he's gotten stockier, bigger, he can take those bigger hits. So I think he's going to get up there pretty quick. And, of course, Sue, McCoy, Barry, there's a lot of people who could go. And it's tough to say. I mean, Eric Berry, he's great safety, but, safeties don't always go top round. But the Bucks could pick him up, so.
It's true.
It could go. There's a lot of ways it could go.
It's going to be exciting to watch. And I'm personally rooting for Ndamukong Suh.
Oh,
because I just think that he's got a great story and a lot of work ethic, and I think he's going to succeed.
Yeah, he just seems like an all-around great guy, great athlete, works hard. Should be awesome. I'm excited.
Well, I think that's all we've got for you this week.
Unfortunately.
Thanks for watching. And,
yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. And remember, we are
BC.